What's going on, y'all? It's your man Quincy Whetstone, aka Q Stone, and this is a quick tutorial on quantizing. Once again, my dude hit me up, say, man, do a video on quantizing because he want to know how to use that. All right, so I'm for to explain it in a way that I think I may want to learn, or I'm not going to get really technical with it, but I'm just going to kind of break it down so you can understand it, so you can start using it and get going. All right, so pretty much quantizing is pretty much putting something on the beat that you want it on, right? Because a lot of us, as far as doing drums, right? Just say drums. A lot of us aren't drummers. So when we making our beat, it may be a little off at times. And what quantizing does is it locks it in so everything can be in the pocket, right? It's kind of like it's making something imperfect sound perfect. Sometimes it can sound too perfect, but hey, that's what it is. So pretty much, let me just give you an example about the quantization and when to use it, how to use it. And you may end up using it all the time because that's just kind of how you want your beats to sound. Some people don't like overusing it because it sounds too robotic, but hey, to each its own. So, all right, so we here, right? So just say I'm going to do a hi-hat because hi-hat usually is the one that gives us the most problems when we making our beat, right? So okay, now you see how that sounded, how it was off, right? All right, so that was kind of really off, so I probably would play it again, but just for the sake of this video, we're gonna use that. All right, so on this over here, you see in your Logic, in this section here, you see where it says quantize. Let me zoom in a little bit. Quantizing here, right? Now, just a little quick tip on just some music, man. You got notes, right? You got quarter notes, you got half notes, you got eighth notes, you got 16 notes and things like that, right? You got eighth notes, right? So in this case, I'm playing eighth notes because it was 8 notes in that measure. It was 8 quarter notes in that measure. But that's a whole nother thing, right? So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So in this case, I want to quantize it to the closest eighth note, right? So I'm gonna do 8 note right here. Now you can do 8 note swing, which kind of gives it a more of a not so robotic feel, which I usually do, but let me do it. I'm gonna do 8 note swing. I'm gonna go swing A. No, I'm gonna keep it basic. I'm gonna do 8 note. So now it should lock all those hi-hats in on the beat that I want it on, right? Now you hear those extra harder notes. It took those fast mess ups and put them both on the same beat. So I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna get here. I can't find it, but I think it did it in there somewhere. But anyway, it'll do that sometimes, but that's another tutorial in itself. Let me zoom out. All right, so now it's locked in, right? So you don't hear where I messed up at, right? So that's how you use your quantizer. You don't have to play it all over again and try to make it sound perfect. You play it as best as you can, then you set your quantization note, then you lock it in. Now, if you don't know which note that you want to use, say if you're not sure, just try all of them until it sounds like you want it to sound. That's how most of us learn, right? Everybody don't know what's the when they use the 8th note, when they use the 16th note, when they use the 32nd note, but you learn that over time, right? So if we was doing the 16th note, let me do a 16th rhythm real quick so you can see. All right, so them are 16s right there, right? So you see how I kind of slowed up a little bit? Here I slowed down. I don't want to slow down. I want it to sound precise, right? So I'm gonna go over here to my quantizing and I'm gonna do 16th because that's what I played, right? I played 16 notes. Bang. So let's see how I sound now. And that's how you use quantizing. Now, just if you don't want to learn which note to use or what, just play with it, right? So just say if I didn't know, I wasn't sure, and I used the 8th note. Let me show you what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna undo that, right? And I want to use 8th note instead of the 16th. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna use 8th note. So what it's gonna do, if you can see, let me zoom in on it a little bit. See here, it took my 16ths and made them eighth notes, right? Let me go over here. So I'm gonna switch this over to. I'm gonna undo that, right? So it's 16th notes here, right? So I'm gonna go 16th. It just locked them in. See that? It's not on the beat, like it's a little off. So quantization, I'm gonna put it on the 16th. Bam! It put them all on that closest 16th note. It just locked it in, right? So if I would did eighth note, which I don't want, but I don't know which one I want to use. Just say I'm trying to play with. I'm not sure. I use 8 and I play it. Like, no, that ain't what I played. So it says undo that. Then you just try the 16th note, right? Like, oh, that's what I played right there. See? All right. That's how you use quantization, man. That's pretty much simple as that. Like you say, you can't always play with it. If you're not sure, just go down the road, right? So if I wanted to use quarter notes, it would have made them all quarter notes, as you can see. 1, 2, 3. But that ain't what I want. I want the 16th. So that's what quantization. And just say if you play it and you don't want the 16th no more, like, man, that hi-hat too fast. If you don't want to play it again, you can use it for that too. So I say, man, I want to go a little slower. I don't want to do 16 notes. Now, the bad part about that, let me see. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, so now the disadvantage of doing it like that is it took the notes that was here and it stacked them on top of this note. So now it's 2 hi-hats playing because it's going to keep what you play. It's not going to delete anything. It's going to move the notes to the closest note that you choose. So now the hi-hats, it's like 2 hi-hats are playing on each one of these. It sounds thicker. Hear how that sound? Because it moved the hi-hat that was here. Here, it just moved it here. Oh, hold on. It moved it from, go back. It moved the hi-hat that was here. It's going to move it here when I use eighth note. So if you want to do another note like that, just go ahead and replay it and then quantize. All right. So that's simple. I hope I explained this well, man. That's how you use quantization. And you can do it on bass lines, on keys, on synths, and all kind of sounds. It's just not for drums. You can also use it for everything else. So you don't have to be a great drum programmer. You can just play it the best you can. Then you can lock it in. And like you say, some people don't like to use it all the time. Let me go back to some people don't like to use it all the time because it can make things sound robotic, but some people use it just on certain parts, so it just all depends on how you want to use it. And you can use it on your kick and your snare and all that stuff, right? So I hope that helped out, man. A little quick tutorial on quantization. Y'all follow me. Y'all watch my podcast. Anything else y'all want me to do a video on Logic, let me know. And I already. Peace out.